Hello nerds! You are about to jump into the TV streaming portion of the most recent episode of The Week in Nerddom, as brought to you by me, Mr. Generally Nerdy himself. If you want to find the entire episode, then that episode exists in the top link in the description, unless you're not on YouTube, in which case youtube.com/generallynerdy is the place to go see that. Patreon.com/generallynerdy is the paywall, and generallynerdy.net, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's just get to the news, shall we? TV streaming is next. We are talking follow-ups real quick. We do have a Squid Game announcement in the follow-up section, and that is Season 2 has been officially confirmed from the series creator on his Twitter account. We also have a really interesting update continuing with the Squid Game theme. Squid Game has been #1 for a long time on Netflix, and the new Arcane series, which is also a League of Legends property, is the first show to dethrone Squid Game from that #1 spot on Netflix. Which, when I initially read it, was kind of surprising, and then I thought, wait a minute, this is tied to League of Legends. League of Legends is potentially the biggest esports game out there, so much less surprising when you put it into that kind of perspective, right? Next, we have a new trailer, just one new trailer, but a big new trailer, and that is Stranger Things Season 4 has dropped another big trailer. This one is Welcome to California is the name of the video. And link in the description if you want to go check it out, because you absolutely should if you haven't already. This show is gonna be very interesting. I feel like they're being secretive enough that they can pull something amazing out of this, but also the little bits that they have shown have potential to go very, very south. So they haven't done that to us in the past. On the whole, there have been definite slip-ups, but on the whole, everything has been super solid. So I have no reason to believe any other thing than that this season is also going to be super, super solid. Yeah, it's Stranger Things Day happened on the, I believe it was the 5th of November. So there's a fair amount of Stranger Things bits that were announced. The trailer was just the biggest one of them. Let's move on now into news for this section. First up, we have a very interesting kind of sort of announcement from, what is the name of that production company? Millennium Media. In an interview with THR, Millennium Media president Jeffrey Greestein told THR, the Hollywood Reporter, that there are a number of projects in pre-development for TV series from their movie IPs. Those projects include Hellboy, Rambo, the Has Fallen series, and the Expendables. There's also a UFC series that's actually into early stages of actual production, so they're working on scouting locations and so on and so forth, whereas these other ones are still being worked out. Who's going to write a spec script? Is there going to be a pilot, or are they just going to order 2 series? Who's going to direct? All of those things still need to be nailed down for the rest of these. But the UFC series, I believe it's called Undisputed, already has writers, and they're looking for a showrunner, and they're starting to scout out locations. The other half of this is not only are they looking to potentially reboot or continue the stories started in these movie franchises, but they also have said that they're going to, or Jeffrey Greestein actually said that if they do go forward with any of these series, they very likely are going to be recasting any main actors with younger action stars. And then he got into a bit of a issue with the fact that there aren't a whole lot of younger action stars. Most of our action stars are over 50 these days, and that's not exactly young in the state of Hollywood. So it's a very interesting dilemma he finds himself in, being as these are all action-based franchises. So yeah, if any of these come to fruition, we will definitely be keeping tabs on them, but that's all we got, so we're moving right along. Our final piece has to do with Netflix. Netflix had Netflix Festival Japan 2021, and they made some there's a laundry list of announcements that they made. So I'm just going to go over a couple of the highlights. You can follow the link down in the show notes to see the entirety of the list. But we do have Season 2 of Ultraman has been announced, a live-action Yu Yu Hakusho, Gundam live-action movie, and honestly, a boatload. There's a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure thing going on in there. A lot of huge IPs. They're really leaning on this push into Asian markets with the anime, specifically into Japan. Japan seems to be a big focus for Netflix these days, and this is probably going to do fairly well for them. So it's pretty exciting that we get all this awesome anime these days, and even live action versions of anime, even though those are kind of varying degrees of good. Either way, that's what we got for TV streaming for today. And that was your TV streaming for this episode. There is, again, a much longer version of this where we do all of the sections all in one. You can find that by following the link in the description. Or if you're not on YouTube, then go check out generallynerdy.net, youtube.com/generallynerdy, or patreon.com/generallynerdy. Or if you're on the social medias, you can find the Nerdy Ninja associated with the name Generally Nerdy, and that's where I'll be. So again, thank you very much, nerds. We're going to go now. But before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.